Good evening, YouTube. So, had quite the day today. I spent the night last night in that rest area in New York. So, when my break was over this morning, I left there and ran into the first traffic jam going on Interstate 287, kind of west of the New York City, New Jersey metropolitan area. 287 sort of goes, makes a giant loop around. And so I ran into a traffic jam that went on for quite a few miles. And so I went ahead and got off on Interstate 80 east, going, and then 80, and then Interstate 280 that goes to Newark, New Jersey. And so I went that way, and then I was able to hit Interstate 95, or actually the New Jersey Turnpike, which I think is Interstate 95. But and then I was able to go south, and that kind of moved right along pretty well. So I got out of that traffic jam. But then the next traffic jam was south of Washington, D.C., and that one was horrific. That must have gone, it felt like it went on for probably 30 miles. The traffic just inched forward. I was in it for, I think, at least probably the better part of 2 hours to go 30 miles, probably. So, but I just barely made it to Gordonsville, Virginia here. Just barely made the place where I delivered at. You have a window on either side of 1 hour. So the appointment was at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. They want you there at 4:30 p.m., but you can be there as late as 6:30. And so I got there. It was like 6:22 or 6:23 whenever I arrived there. And so I checked in with the guard, and they didn't even say a word. They just put me on back there and told me what door to back into. And so I took the paperwork in, and the gal never said anything either about it being late. So they went ahead and took it. So I guess they wanted it. So, but anyway, I got that to go on, and then there's a truck stop here at the Gordonsville exit. And since it's Friday night, there's quite a few parking spots, because I've stayed in here before when the place is pretty well jammed up during the week. So there's some parking spots. It's slowly starting to fill up, but there's still a number of them left. So I got here to this truck stop. It's just on the other side of the interstate from where I unloaded at, maybe a mile from where I unloaded at to the truck stop. So the next load picks up at Lyndhurst, Virginia, which is about 55 miles away from here. And then that load delivers to Rocky Hill, Connecticut. So I'm going right back up. But I tell you what, that traffic, that Interstate 95, what I should have done was, it would have been probably, I don't know, it's really, you never really know. But what I probably should have done, and if I ever had to do that again, especially on a Friday afternoon, I would go west out of the Washington, D.C. area on Interstate 66, and then go over and hit U.S. Highway 29, which it's a 4-lane divided highway. It's not limited access, and there are a number of stoplights on it, so you can't make great time on it. But if I would have done that, it would have been a whole lot less tiring. Because that's pretty tiring, the stop and go and just inch forward and inch forward some more. And I think there was really no problem other than all the people were trying to get out of Washington, D.C. They were leaving early because whenever I first I think it might have been about 2 o'clock or so whenever I went south on Interstate 95 and, got turned off of, 495 that goes around, and then Interstate 95 south. Well, it was probably about 2 o'clock or so, or it might even have been earlier than that, but all these people were leaving early. It was Friday. There's always more traffic on Friday. And it was, I don't know where they're all going. There were 5 lanes of them. Of course, the big bottleneck came, I don't know, probably 15, 20 miles south. Probably 15 miles south. The big bottleneck came when it went from 5 lanes down to 3. And even after that, it was backed up for, that wasn't moving very fast either. And then finally, south of Fredericksburg, it kind of cleared up a little bit and things started moving again. So, live and learn. But, God, there's just people on top of people on top of people. There's, I don't know. That's not my cup of tea. I know a lot of people like living in the city and living in high density population areas. There are people that really like that. I don't. If I have to go to those places, but as far as where I want to live at, I want wide open spaces, and I don't want to be a total recluse, but I like having some space around me and not having people kind of stacked up on top of each other. That is not my idea of a way to live. So I guess to each his own. So anyway, gonna go ahead and cut this off. I need to get to bed so I can get up, get moving once my break's over. Get out of here and then go pick that load up, and then get headed up towards Connecticut. I'm supposed to be there by 9 p.m. Tomorrow. So in other words, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday evening. So in any case, from Gordonsville, Virginia, catch you later.